Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this live stream with Mr. M. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Happy Thursday.
Yes, it's almost Friday.
Almost Friday.
Oh, damn, guys, wow. You know what? All the fundamentals are pointing for Bitcoin to skyrocket like crazy. And we're going to be talking about that in today's episode. It is clear that you are in the right space. But I noticed that, you know what? How many times have we asked people, put a 1 if you have no Bitcoin?
No,
And
man.
it's so sad.
I know.
Because here's the thing, right? You know, back when I was telling people when it was $1, right? It was a lot of people like that didn't have any Bitcoin, right? And it was like, but it was hard to hold, right? So it was more majority of the viewers and people who were watching it didn't have any Bitcoin because it was a very difficult asset to hold at the time. There was only one wallet, and the other wallets had there was a bunch of wallets that came up in 2011, but they all had security flaws, which end up people losing a lot of Bitcoin, right? And so today there's no excuse, right? There's no excuse, right? You are destroying your bloodline by not saving even just $100 worth of Bitcoin. Just $100, don't you think?
I agree. Someone commented on my channel, I think it was a couple of days ago, and he said, well, I don't have money anyway. Well, that's not a good way to see it because you have to do something about it, right?
Exactly.
And you can do so much. You know, you can get, I think it's 12,000 Satoshis for $10.
Yeah, and so there's always some money somewhere for savings. Like, come on. You mean you can't save anything?
Well,
Nothing?
But that's another issue. You should probably have a planning.
Yeah, you know what? If you can't save anything, you need to get, honestly, even though I would like you to watch the show, I think you should get off the show and go find something on YouTube on how to save. Start focusing on that. That should be your life focus from here on in. If you don't know how to save, if you're living hand to mouth, if you have no retirement plan, you need to leave this show and find a way to get to that point, right?
I agree, and it's straight math. So how much money do you make? How much money do you spend? You know, do you have a Netflix, what's it called, membership? Cancel it. Do you buy coffee in the bar? Do it yourself? Do you cook at home? Like this kind of stuff, and then you start planning from there, right?
Exactly. Because you are going to regret it. It's like not working out, right? Today, because you know what, I'll do it tomorrow or whatever. Well, tomorrow will come, right? And you're going to regret it. And there's nothing you can do, especially for your health. I mean,
100%.
Later on, you're screwed, right? Well, Bitcoin, right? If it goes up, okay, well, I missed it again. Well, it's not too late to invest in this, right? When you realize that, I missed it again.
And again.
And again.
Yeah.
Right? So, but when you're talking your health, you're done. When you realize that you've missed it and your body has just started to deteriorate, it's over, right? And there might be a day where Bitcoin, it's over for you, for Bitcoin, because you know what? Not like it might be money and everybody's paying for buying everything and trading in money in Bitcoin. You're still stuck at, well, I can't save anything. You're getting paid in Bitcoin now, but I can't save any of that, right? So it's no point until you learn how to save, right?
100%. And like you said, it's super easy. Like, I mean, it's going to be a journey, but to begin, it's just like how much money I have, I'm having coming in and how much money is going out.
Yeah. I know it's simply easier said than done. It's just like working out.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Right? But it is, these are the two things, working out and saving your wealth are two exercises that are basically hard to do, but once you get into the movement, the pace of it, and start working on it and doing something in order to gain that extra advantage for yourself and for everyone else around you, you will be so happy. You'll have a better life, right?
100%. Yeah, and you won't be able to live without. It's the opposite, right?
You have a better life with health and finances in order. Period. Yes, you'll still have problems. right? We've got problems, right?
100%.
But you know, at least those are not a problem, right? And guess what? Once you start going and doing that, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I think it's very important.
Yeah, it's really important. I agree.
Once you start getting those two things in order, man, it seems like easy. Like, why didn't I do that before? Damn, that wasn't a little hard. Yeah, I just wake up, work out. I just, you know, make sure that I'm saving more than I'm spending. Phew, who knew? Who knew?
And you know what's my favorite part about this is gonna take you in charge, because people say, who cares? And no, become the one who design your life, right? So start saving and also working out, I guess, discipline in both areas.
Yeah,
it's gonna empower you back.
Exactly, both of those areas, I think, because what happens especially when you work out and you do, because the workout is a lot harder, you will be able to do a lot harder things the rest of the day and the rest of your life. So there it is.
Yep, I like
There
it.
it is. All right. Well, make sure you hit the like if you like that and hit subscribe. Then head over to Mr. M's podcast, hit subscribe there, and check out his videos that are available on here. There are lots of bangers here and that are
Thank you.
doing very well. So make sure you check them out.
Yeah, I have one fantastic recording tonight, so I'm excited about that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Just one more bull run.
Just-
I promise. Take profit. That's basically me. Last night, walking my phantom. Take profit, guys. It's super important.
She likes to just take screenshots.
Yeah, a lot of screenshots.
Lots. When it comes to meme coins, screenshots are better than profits, right?
100%.
Well, I do the same thing.
You're gonna secure the bloodline.
I do
one
the same
screenshot
thing.
at a time.
We all do it.
We all do it. But I do believe, I don't know if you agree, Da Vinci, I do believe we will have another run in this bull market, especially for Bitcoin. So make sure to have a plan to take some profit.
Yeah, a little bit, man. Like
bit.
you didn't even take the $50, man.
I know. That's how a proper degen will act. Degen in the house.
Captain DJ.
Exactly. But look at this. Speaking about cycles and another leg run, you can see in the darker color on top the current cycle, as we are now in the overall cycle since inception, 2009. And you can see underneath we have two different cycles, and they both pumped towards the end. So I'm expecting another leg up. How high this is going to go? Difficult to say, but we're going higher than 103, I think it was, or 108. Do you remember the all-time high? 108 it was? Something like this. So I think we have another leg.
Yeah, here's the leg right here. My leg up. That's the only leg you getting. Just kidding.
You follow the link in the description. Get Mr. 2 legs.
Yeah.
How much?
Oh, damn.
Again, Dow theory. This is interesting. I had a guest on my show. We discussed about this, and you can see we are in a clear uptrend. We've seen lower low, higher high. Again, expecting a bounce here. If you want to know more about the Dow theory, I actually recorded a fantastic interview with Manuel. Go and check it out, because he explained step by step what it is, and he gave a pretty interesting target towards the end of the video. So again, it's another metric to measure the bull run. And I tweeted this the other day. If you go on the next tab, you can see similar. So in sync with this, I also believe we will have another retest on that line. How likely, Da Vinci, it is that we are going to retest or retrace to the maybe high
Is that
70s?
green line?
So the green line is the uptrend, and the orange line is the kind of a retest on the all-time high.
Oh, that would be interesting.
And I put a circle there saying, are we going to test an intersection there?
Yeah, but I think if we do it, we might do it on a higher level. So, for example, we get to 100K and then just come roaring down like WTF.
And retest the trend.
Right? It's a possibility, right? Yeah, we just come back up. I wouldn't be surprised because the market, here's the thing, the reason why I think that's a possibility is because the stock market is, in a very, very fragile phase. Trump's trying to get it all down so that he can pump it back up from a lower level, and everybody's like looking at, oh my God, look how much you've done and stuff like that from from the lower level. It's easier to do that. But if that happens, right, we could see some sort of like collapse to that green level, right, in that event. So, and looking at it, you can see that somewhere out in the future, most likely around September, which would be the most likely point in time where we'd see a complete collapse. Okay?
I think so too. And there is going to be, if you look at there's been a retest once, and there's been kind of a almost retest in the middle, and almost retest now. So I think we're going to potentially shoot off. And of course, the later this happens, the higher the price will be, right?
Exactly. Yes.
That's for sure.
This is a weekly chart. You know, it's
Weekly
not clear.
chart, yeah, weekly.
Not clear.
Yeah, weekly. Sorry, I forgot to mention.
So maybe it's this looks sooner than if it's a weekly chart.
I don't know. I put that circle there because I have a feeling that we will retest it at some point.
But we could end up retesting it at a lot of higher
Yeah,
level. Right
I
up
agree.
here.
It doesn't have to be necessarily there. It was an interesting
It
interception.
could be like, for example, we roll out like this is September up here, and then it comes back down to 100K, and then off it goes. Yeah.
And then off it goes. Exactly. Also because of this, you can see the Bitcoin tends to follow what gold is doing. Oh boy, gold is ripping. Peter Schiff can't keep it together.
I know exactly. He's getting his wet dreams is waking him up in the night, and he's like, "Oh, I felt gold go up. Oh, I felt it in my pants."
You know that sound like da 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 when there's something sexy happens. You can see it with the phone. Oh man, and Vaseline next to.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, so historically speaking, whenever gold has moved so brutally, Bitcoin has followed. So again, I think we are about to see. There's also the liquidity coming in, and there's so many things. I mean, we've seen Jerome Powell. We'll talk about later. He said, "No. How about no?
How about new?"
So that didn't happen, but he will have to turn the printer on at some point.
Yeah, the funny thing is, when he turns on the printer, this thing's gonna fly.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back.
Okay.
It's not. It's actually going to do the opposite.
When the printer is going to, gold or Bitcoin?
Gold.
Gold, yeah.
know
Bitcoin
why?
is going to fly, right?
Do you know why? Actually, things go the opposite, right? One, right? It makes sense for them to short the market like crazy, right? To keep the pressure down so that their actions, right, have the opposite reaction. And markets tend to actually short the market whenever people are like, "Oh, you're going to print," or when something obvious is about to happen that would actually do, like, for example, okay, well, if I'm going to print more money, that means gold's going to go up. Whenever there's something that's like this, if you do this, this will happen.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, right? So, for example, let me give you an example. When Bitcoin had its ETF, right? When that day happened, what happened? Did it go straight up?
No.
Exactly. It went straight down. Okay. So effectively, right, gold will have that kind of reaction to when the printing press comes on. And then later on, the end results of the printing press will show up later down the line. Okay?
Yeah, I like that. I think it makes sense. In the long run, it's going to pay off. So that makes sense. Like you
so
said.
like he said, right there. So as soon as he starts to sprinkle on the markets, the only thing that's going to sprinkle and go up is stocks, right? And equities. Why? Because those things support what he wants to support, which is like so that the government can get more money. And these things are just paper promises, just like his paper money, the stocks markets. Whilst, gold are not promises, Bitcoin's not promises, right? Assets that are not promises, they're effectively against his paper money, right? But other promises, promises of wealth, right? Not just not the difference between a Bitcoin and a stock. It's a promise that the company's going to do well, right? That's just a promise. You don't know what's going to happen, right? And you can say, well, Bitcoin's just a promise of if somebody else is going to buy it.
I know, right? So
that's not happening with stocks, right?
not with anything.
Not with anything.
No, it's just like you buy anything you buy is because you love.
Yeah, because
It has value.
people just love it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Right.
Right? So let's take that out of the equation, right? And Bitcoin, you're buying it because it's a hard asset. No one can create more of it, right? It's just like gold is a hard asset. That's why you'd buy that, right? Because they could only create 2% a year, right? So that's the difference. While stocks, they could create as much as they freaking want, right?
As much as everything else.
Exactly. And on top of that, right, they can fudge numbers, they can do all kinds of things, tricks and stuff like that with a stock, right? You can't do a lot of tricks and well, you can with the...
If you are a certain individual, best trader in history.
Yeah, exactly. You can be like Nancy Pelosi.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can do, there are stuff you can do with the hard assets, but they're always generally to push it down, right? There's all kinds of rules in place to push what's it called? A commodity down. Well, it's interesting enough, there's all kinds of rules to keep stocks up. I just realized that. You know, there's circuit breakers on stocks going down, but no circuit breakers on commodities going down. There's circuit breakers on commodities going up, but no.
Going down.
You can't. It is against the law to hold more than 5% of any commodity, right? But it's not against the law to hold any more than 5% of a stock. It is against the law to short a stock too much in one position. But
On the other hand,
if you're with commodities, you can short as much as you like. I just realized something.
damn, I never thought about this.
I never thought about it either.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn.
Okay.
Why is that? Why would that be? Because you are using paper money that they print in order to buy those commodities that are limited. Whilst you're using, if you go with stocks, you're using paper money that they print to buy an asset that someone else can print more too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much the same. They're all good with that.
Oh yeah, I bet they love it.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never thought about this, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought of it now. It's just like it
clicked.
It clicked.
Yeah.
It's all like, oh, I get it. There we go. Anyways.
Wow. I want to show you this. Guys, okay, when you think crypto is going to zero or is going away, okay, I would like you to look at this, okay? So this is the volume, stablecoin transactions versus Visa. Now, I'm old enough to remember when Visa was launched, there was a huge backlash. People didn't want a plastic card in their pocket. They want cash. Mm-hmm. And I remember the campaigns, Visa and MasterCard, they did to allow people to, hey, don't carry cash around, carry the plastic thing. We don't want the plastic. The cash back, the points, the amount of stuff they created to allow people. And now I wonder, in Europe, US, how many people have cash in their pockets? Mm-hmm. They all use Visa.
Exactly.
Okay, what's happening next? Well, this is happening next. Stable coins.
This is ridiculous.
Coming for the jugular. Look at this.
This is ridiculous. Do you know how long it took them to do this, Visa?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then
how fast
stablecoin
caught up?
Went from 2014. I think I believe that was when the stablecoin started to come in. Mm-hmm. It was his team.
About 10 years, more or less, right?
And yeah, it's like 10 years. What? Took them 10 years to beat out Visa when Visa took forever to do this?
And look, do you see the pattern? It's almost a double every time. I mean, not entirely, but almost a double. So that means what's going to happen in 2028, 2027, 2030 even. Like, I believe stablecoins are going to play really hard. Like USDT, USDC, Trump now, he launched the USD1, which is his own stablecoin. I think in the next 10 years, stablecoins are going to play, you can catch them in your bank account. Banks are going to connect USDT, USDC, and that is going to allow, it's going to open the floodgate to Bitcoin and crypto, because you have access to stablecoin in your bank. And if you look at all those new banks, like the one even we have in the UAE, I won't name to do any advertisement, but the digital fintech, the one that I was showing you earlier, you can just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum straight from your bank.
Exactly, yes.
You can open an account in 10 minutes, just with Emirates ID or passport. So banking is becoming more accessible. Products are rolling in. Stable coins are taking over. I mean, this is such an easy path to draw, right?
Yeah, it's an easy play.
It's easy play. And if you think Bitcoin is going to zero or Ethereum is going to zero, Ethereum might be replaced by something, but there is going to be a crypto product, I believe, coming in stronger and stronger. So this shows itself. It's crazy.
Wow.
Completely crazy. Now, Gary Gensler is back on the game, like he was on CNBC yesterday, and I found a clip that says something, and Ash Crypto goes, holy, Gensler is bullish on Bitcoin. Okay, so here's that.
Gary, final question for you. As you probably watched, so many CEOs were doing almost victory laps in the crypto world as these enforcement cases were dropped by this current administration of cases, of course, cases that you had brought. As you watched that, what did you think?
It's a dumb question, but whatever.
Look, I'm going to step back a little bit from any individual cases and just say this again to your viewing public. This is a very small part of the financial markets, but if you were interested in this, think about every financial asset sort of trades on a bit of fundamentals and sentiment. But this field is almost 99, or maybe one might say 100% sentiment and very little on fundamentals. And while something like Bitcoin may persist for a long time because there's 7 billion people around the globe, a real keen interest in it, there's 10 or 15,000 others of these tokens. And to think through your own risk, your own personal risk, about where are the fundamentals, and if this is just about sentiment, then generally those don't end up well, and most then go down.
So long story short.
Long story short, buy Bitcoin, just don't buy anything else.
Exactly. Exactly. Everything is going to zero, but Bitcoin could stay there.
So basically, if you think he didn't answer the question, he's saying, hey, listen, I was thinking, screw everything else, kill everything except Bitcoin.
Exactly. So basically, he could have said, just buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's what I said. In a very articulate way.
Now, keep in mind, right? You know, Gary Gensler. I loved how when he came into power in the SEC. Did you know how many people were screaming, "Oh my God, this guy's great! Oh my God, he's the best! Oh, he's crypto evangelist, blah blah blah." And I'm like, dude, you know, I know who this guy is. Yeah. When he joined the CFTC. Everybody in the silver community and gold community were like, yay, Gary Gensler, he's going to come and save the day. He's going to prove that there's manipulation. And he's like, I don't see any manipulation here. Where is the manipulation?
Yeah.
I can't see it. I don't see any manipulation. 3 years later, all the manipulation comes out. I just didn't see it.
Do you know the joke about the banana in your ear?
Yeah.
That's the same joke. You have a banana in your ear. Sorry, I can hear anything. You have a banana in your ear. Oh, because I have a banana in my ear. I can hear it. It's the same story, right?
It was redonkulous.
I know.
Right? So you knew, and I knew how he operates, right? He's like paid to like, oh, you want me to turn a blind eye? You want me to do this? I'll get it done. Wherever you put me in office, you pay me enough money.
I'll do whatever.
I'll do whatever, man. I'll get it done. You want me to not look at silver? It's done.
What silver?
You don't want me to look at gold? That's a little extra. Gold? Gold what? You think gold's manipulated?
No.
Hey, I'll even get people to write about how this is nonsense, right? I mean, it was ridiculous. And then the truth came out, and then all of a sudden, mistakes happen, man. Yeah. Mistakes happen.
Oopsie daisy. Sorry, I've really not seen that one. I don't know how I missed it.
I don't know how I missed that.
Dang, man.
But we showed it. I didn't see it. I just didn't see it.
It wasn't as clear back then, you know? Now I can look back and I can say, oh, damn, I wish. Back then, it was damn.
Oh damn!
Yeah, then a few years later, he comes out and he goes, "Well, everything is scam, but Bitcoin is cool."
Yeah, I know exactly. I mean,
Damn.
honestly, right?
I need to
It's-
find that clip of The Simpsons. I'm gonna have to find. I'm gonna make it my mission. There is a clip on The Simpsons, the cartoon, the TV series. There is a. Is it called Rusty the Clown?
Krusty the Clown.
Krusty
Right?
the Clown.
I know that clip would be funny.
I
as
need to find.
frick.
I've been looking for that clip for years.
I don't want to do this shit. I'm not promoting this shit. Here's a
The
bunch of
guy-
money.
You can see he takes the cash and he goes, "Whatever it is, I endorse
There's
it."
it. Yes.
Amazing. Gonna have to find that clip. Maybe ChatGPT knows. I'll ask later. I've been trying to find that clip. Remember, it's been
Yeah,
It's been a
exactly.
while.
It's been a while since you. Yeah, I know that clip too, but shit.
There's too many episodes. Of The Simpsons.
Exactly, it's difficult to find.
Look at this. This is super exciting, guys. I don't know if you know the Spar group. It's quite big in Italy. I think it's a French-Swiss, because I remember some sort of a French roots. But in here says, just in grocery store giant Spar, I think it was called Despar at some point, is now testing Bitcoin payments with Lightning Network in Switzerland. And they have almost 14,000 stores in almost 50 countries. Massive.
All I have to say is 2 words: got Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Done.
Lightning is going to change. I mean, it's
Ooh.
changing the game already.
But we should save this for last, right?
Yeah, let's say this for last because this is fun. I mean, I'm sorry for
part
whoever
of it's
lost
part
money,
of
but
it's part of our degen section.
it's
right?
part of the DGen, yeah. It's
Yeah.
part of the DGen session for sure. This is also interesting. Panama greenlights crypto payments for tax and public services. Apparently, you can use Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins again to pay for certain things.
Yeah, you know, dude, if you wait for global Bitcoin adoption, you're too late to buy. You're going to be too late to buy. Because one, you'll be getting paid in Bitcoin. So you won't be buying it. You'll just be using it. Why not get in ahead of that? Right? Why not?
I mean, why would you want, like, imagine if you could collect taxes in Bitcoin. Hello. I mean, double, trouble. It's tax money coming in from taxpayers in an asset that goes up in time.
Yes, exactly. And the beautiful thing about an asset that is fixed in size and amount that's available is that when we innovate, prices drop even further so that its value goes even higher. Okay? Its value will go higher even though everybody's in on it. Everybody has Bitcoin. Its value will still skyrocket. Why? Because when we make things better, easier, right? It means prices drop. And when prices drop, that means the money that you have is worth more.
Preach. Indeed.
Jesus, man, Jesus. This is much better. The beautiful thing about this, right, is that you don't have to gamble anymore, right? You don't have to okay, I know I'm making this much money and I can live off this much money, and but I can live off 10,000 a month, but I don't know how much 10,000 a month is going to be worth in 30 years.
Probably not much.
I could probably just buy pizza for that in 30 years. I don't know. And because you're trying to gamble to get the maximum amount of dollars, this seems ridiculous. Because you never know how much those dollars are going to be worth.
Do you know,
But
do you
with
know
Bitcoin,
exactly. But there is a way out, right?
exactly. So can you imagine if you're saving with Bitcoin, you're not going to go and gamble on a stock market to get more dollars, to get more Bitcoin. Why bother? Just save the goddamn Bitcoin.
Yep, 100%. I can see some comments in the chat. I'm going to save them for later because it's...
That's good.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
I'm going to save a couple of comments I've seen in the chat because you guys need to study more, I guess. That's to put it politely. But okay, cool. We can discuss them later. Sounds interesting. to say the least. Do you know, top of your head, in the last 10 years, how much the dollar has been debasing itself? Like, I don't have a number on my head, but I would say, I mean, the purchasing power in the last 10 years for the dollar.
I think I don't look at purchasing power because that just looks at prices. And that's difficult because here's the thing about pricing, right? Remember what I just said, right? As we innovate, prices drop. So what happens is the pricing is obfuscating the losses, right? What does that mean by obfuscate? It means covers up. It means you can't see what are the losses. So effectively, you're saying, well, it's not so bad, right? Because, prices have not gone up, gone that crazy, right? Now, there you go, it's not so bad. And when you do that, right, that's what the founding fathers said, you know what, if you ever allow fiat money, they'll cause you to look at pricing. Always look at pricing. No, you look at how much money there is. So you figure out how much money there was in 1970, how much the money is there, and that's the inflation rate. That's your losses.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not 2% a year. I mean,
those are your losses, not the prices. Those are the losses. So effectively, we should do a new shadow stats. But the problem with that is, do you know how many times they've changed the way they count the money supply?
because it shows how bad it is. They don't want to do it. The CPI is you call it CPI for a reason, right? This, we're going to take it off, but we're going to put this in. Steak, it doesn't matter. We're going to put fresh mint in there. It's like, what the hell?
Yes.
Such a...
So they mixed in, like, for example, they used to have M3, M1, M2, M0, M1, and 2, and 3. And M3 was the broadest measure of money. And then they said, no more M3.
Did you
because
have
this
one
is
stop at some
crazy.
point? Yeah.
No, it's M3 first.
Okay.
Then they decided, we're going to add a few more things into M2, move things around.
All right.
What kind of logic is that?
What's that logic, right? Yeah. Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. I think the first step would be, and by the way, Bitcoin doesn't have to be your answer. I think that the question is, how do I preserve my wealth? And then once you go into that journey, I'm confident you'll come across Bitcoin, but there is many other alternatives, right? As long as you move away from fiat, it's up to you to decide what tool or asset you want to use. You can go real estate, you can go metals, you can go anything, watches, art, whatever it is that you feel it's correct, but not fiat. Why would you keep your wealth into fiat? It destroys itself, right? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, greater fool theory is right for stocks, right? There's always a greater fool for stocks, right? Yep. Always a greater fool, right? Whilst, it's not the same for Bitcoin. Greater fool because Bitcoin's going to be money.
Greater fool not to buy if you don't buy it.
Yeah, exactly. You're just the greater fool not owning it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Solana is doing something crazy.
Base. Also Solana. Yeah, well, let's go on Solana. Solana remains extremely bullish, apparently. So if you chart it against Ethereum specifically, now I don't know you, but I'm expecting Ethereum to prove everyone wrong at some point.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about
maybe me. Maybe it's gonna prove me wrong. I'll take it.
Oh damn! Ethereum's got a long way to go to fix its problem. So, Solana seems to be in the number one spot. I hate the development environment in Solana. I hate the what's it called? The whole thing that it's not strong, right? It's not, and it's completely centralized. It's more centralized than Ethereum is. Well, centralization is always on a moving scale, right? And so, for example, XRP number one, and so the most centralized, whilst Bitcoin is on the other side of that, right?
Do you remember the guys? Sorry to jump in. Do you remember? I thought it was one of the best moments. We had a chat with Charles Hoskinson on my channel, on my podcast, and we discussed the decentralization of chain, right? So that's so funny when you see chains. Oh, we are decentralized. You want to run a node? KYC form.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, are you kidding me? How is that decentralized? Damn. But look at this. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, we want to be able to call you and tell you this is how
Shut
the
it-
cow
and shut
this
it
is how the
down.
cow eats the cabbage, right? Because
Yeah.
we want to increase the supply. We want to do this. We want to do that. You're gonna follow our rules, right?
Yeah, if else we can shut it down.
Yeah.
You can choose.
Yeah, but we could always give you this bag of money.
Yeah, like Simpson style. I know.
How you want to play?
Bananas. But nevertheless, we've seen Solana surge from 30% compared to USD. But what's interesting is the Sol Ethereum pair, and you can see that in the past while, we've seen specifically on the 7-day DAX volume, there's been a 130 billion into Solana. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's all up in the air for grabs, but I think altcoins are going to pop at some point. I'm expecting altcoin season. Again, I could be wrong, but at some point it's going to go. And I've seen a bunch of questions, so I saved them for later. Some people are asking, hey, when do you think we'll have altcoin season? Stay tuned for the Q&A, right?
Yeah.
Because that will happen. And this was said.
Even Coinbase is like getting into the rogue party.
Apparently so. So there's been a token launch on Based, and they officially promoted it.
Yes.
Kind of. Another
did.
bag.
Yes.
Hey, can you tweet about this? Sure.
sure.
Oh, oopsie. No, sorry, it wasn't official.
That wasn't official.
I'll take it back.
But hey, they gave me a lot of money.
So yeah, interesting. So for whoever who lost money, I'm sorry. I also paid my lessons back in the days, right? So you have to pay your tuition. There's no other way around.
Exactly. So just remember, yes, there will be coins that will do well, and there will be stories of people, oh my God, he put $2 in, and then he's like a multi-millionaire, right? There will be those stories. There will be, always. But as you can see, we've been putting $10 here and $10 there, and what's happened for us? Have we secured the bloodline yet?
We are on the way.
On the way. We're working on it. We're almost there. Almost there. Just a little bit. Oh man, it's like we're already like at 10:54. Jesus. Okay, let's get on to
Yeah,
the
because we started a little bit late today.
the security of the bloodline. Let's start with going over what we did.
Is the wallet connected before I switch on your
Hang on,
laptop?
let's just connect the
I have to
wallet.
put the password in.
Okay, there
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
Ooh, 4K. Let's go.
Right.
We started at 20, but who's counting? No, not at 20, but. All right, we're up from yesterday. Yesterday was 3.7, no?
Yeah.
Something
Let's see.
pumped.
Look, fart coin. It's stinking up the scene. Bretta doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Yeah, it's she doubled on us 2 or 3 times, no?
Let's see what's going on with Bretta's wife. I thought for sure somebody would take.
Look at
take out the
retarded
clutch.
finance is coming back from the dead. Have you seen that pump?
Yeah. But it still didn't give us anything.
Yet. Yet. It's a Trudy Jen would say. Let's see, Bretta. What time frame is this? Daily?
Bretta's wife.
Damn.
Let's see. Are they responding on Twitter or anything?
I don't know.
You doing
Oh,
that?
wow. I thought they had a bigger account.
Yeah, they have a big account. They have the gold check mark.
Follow back? Did they follow you? Damn. I probably they watched the show.
Yeah. April 15th. So, yeah. Let's
Okay.
give them a follow.
All right, they're going to
Yeah.
love this.
And the retweet. What should we retweet? Bretta rewards contest. Yeah, let's do it. I don't know if this is still valid. Yes, it is.
Slowing down liquidity boost, community strong, momentum is building like never before.
Hang on, let me just.
That is, the guy's going to faint.
D.
The guy who runs the account is going to faint.
You know.
It's going to pass out.
And I see Bloodline Security.
Wow. Okay. The guy's gonna faint.
There we go.
The social media manager is gonna faint. All right. This is gonna be fun to see what happens now.
Oh, just having fun.
Clinch is moving.
Clinch.
Clinch
Clinch.
is moving. All right.
Oh, damn.
We should probably see a bump there, I guess.
A little bit.
Yeah, because they're gonna retweet and
Little
blah blah. The community is going crazy
A little bit.
and so forth. But yeah, let's see how it's gonna go. Ethereum Maxi, it's not looking good, right?
Well, yeah, well, we got killed here.
We got killed in there.
It is what it is.
It's what it is. We don't win all of them, but we win some. What's the retarded dog doing? I have faith in
Come on,
retarded
man.
dog. What's happening?
Come on, dog.
What's happening with the dog?
Really?
Because the Ethereum Maxi, yeah, retarded Phi was actually all right. But what's the dog doing, man? What's the dog?
Targeted dog coin. There it is.
Okay, chilling down at the bottom.
We lost our pants on this. We ended up buying even more. Right
Yeah,
up here.
I think we did two
And
buys,
then yeah, exactly. 400K market cap. We got spanked.
yeah. We got spanked. No, that was a
That was a retarded move, man.
I know.
Hey, look at our tip coins.
Oh, okay. What's happening there? Ooh, pump. We still have some, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
we missed the lows here from the blast off here. Wow. Well, let's see if this thing. Wow, it's just reversed here.
We could be in for a pump. The market is positive. Yeah, exactly. Market looking positive. I agree. So if Bitcoin goes up, I mean, some of the memes are going to pump. So, I mean, nothing is certain, but it looks like it.
17 million market cap. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Should we just hold our tits?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. and our bottles. I'm not ready to sell it yet.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Oh my God! Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so what else we have done?
Clinch. We got a little bit of clinch.
Oh my God!
It just clinched the losses. All right, so yeah, look at that. My meme coins are starting to wake up to realities. Is that things are about to pump heavy. Look at that, W's everywhere, dude. I see W's.
So what we do when we see W's, we degen into them. Right?
Exactly, but we already have a lot.
Yeah. The general rule of thumb.
And so yeah, we'll sell half once we see some massive movements.
Okay.
Okay, well that's it for today. Let's just
Nice. I
call
like
that.
it. Nice and easy.
Go to the question Q&A
Nice
section.
portfolio check over there. So I saved a few. Will altcoin season be delayed? That's a good question.
Yeah, there is no altcoin season. There is
There is no altcoin season? Really?
not priced in Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I agree. Agree. Agree on that one. Okay, I'm in a class at university right now. Everyone is talking about Bitcoin and I'm loving it.
Yeah. I mean, it is the apex cryptocurrency, right? And you can say, well, the next question was, why is it so slow, right?
And expensive, which I would
expensive,
like to
yeah.
argue that.
Okay, argue.
Well, first of all, it's not expensive, dude, because you can send millions of dollars for pennies and you can do it on a Sunday and it takes average 7 minutes. Now, go into a bank and try and transfer $500,000 on a Saturday and or a Sunday and tell me how much it's going to cost, especially from US to, I don't know, Africa, for example. Now, think about this. We've seen transaction which is open and transparent. You can also check yourself. Millions of dollars for like 20 cents. So how is it expensive?
Exactly.
How is it expensive? Doesn't make sense.
And if you say that, wait a second, I don't have $500,000, I don't have $50,000. Well, this is why. The market, Bitcoin is for a specific segment, right, of people who have large sums of money to move around, right? And it's pennies for them, right? Mm-hmm. And now, what is the value of having a system, right, that helps people who only have a few dollars, $100 to go in? There's not much value there because now the value is, okay, well, you're gonna have to pay me a lot because it's gotta be decentralized, right? And it's gotta be fast. So if it's decentralized and fast, well, there's a lot of costs there, right? Just to make that happen. So effectively, in order to reduce the cost to make it fast and decentralized, it becomes more centralized.
You have to compromise on decentralization.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. So there it is, right? Now, is there a way to do it? I think maybe Caspa has come up with a solution with DAGs, and so that seems to, like, I'm looking at it, and this seems to be the solution, because what they do is everybody can mine their own set of cryptocurrencies, their own blockchain and transactions, and then that group of transactions gets added later on a bigger transaction. And so that's generally, this is not exactly how the block DAGs work, but that's generally how it works, right? It's not exact, right? And so that's why it's possible for it to work, give you low fee transactions, right? Yeah. At the same time, do multiple transactions at the same time, decentralized. So it is still fresh technology. It's still very new, very, very early stages. So if you're interested in investing, keep in mind, it's not going to outperform Bitcoin for a long time.
I don't know anything about Caspa.
Right.
So I don't know.
But if this technology works and we see it, it's going to do something better than if. This is all ifs and buts and pie in the sky stuff, right?
Yeah.
If.
Exactly. I don't know much about it, but I do know something about this. I agree with Damien. Lightning Network is amazing. Cheap, fast, built on Bitcoin. And I think we will see many more solutions coming in.
The problem is with Lightning Network is although it can work in a non-decentralized way, it's only helpful for those people with large sums of money again, right? It's only helpful for large sum holders. If you are somebody who only has 100 sats, it doesn't really help you.
Not even on Lightning? No,
it doesn't help you. Here's why. The only way for you to actually use 100 sats at a time is that you have to connect to a centralized system of Lightning Network.
Like you're saying earlier, for speed and...
because the reason why is because it's too costly, right? Because you have to put... you have to lay down a deposit onto Bitcoin network, which costs a lot of money in order for that to work. So, for example, let's just say you wanted just 100 Satoshis from me, just 100 Satoshis on the regular Bitcoin network. Well, how much would that cost? Cost more than...
At the value that I'm transferring.
Yeah, exactly. It'll cost me more, right? If I were to do that even on the Lightning Network and say, okay, I'm going to put down a contract, right? I have to start, first off, I can't do 100 Satoshis to you. I have to do a lot more to have a contract connecting us, right? That's connected to the both of us. And so that's costing me a lot of money just to send you the 100 Satoshis, right? And then those 100 Satoshis, right? If we actually settle on the Bitcoin network, right? It costs me a lot to just lay down the network. Then it's costing me a lot more to disconnect from you. I'm paying that because you can't afford it.
Yeah, because I only have 100 Satoshis.
Exactly. And then you can't send those 100 Satoshis anywhere because, yes, you'll get them, but you don't have enough to cover the transaction fees to send them anywhere. You get it? And you can't even reinitiate a new Lightning Network node so that you can transfer those 100 satoshis, because you need bitcoins in order to create a
So you have to have
network.
a stack of Bitcoin to manage.
Yeah, exactly. So it's only people with stacks of Bitcoin can actually transfer on the Lightning Network. And if you don't have stacks of Bitcoin, you have to join a centralized team like Blue Wallet. Blue Wallet is an example of that.
Aqua Wallet also, yeah.
It's called Blue Wallet, and you open up an account, but they hold the Bitcoins, not you.
Yeah. So it's compromising again on decentralization. I agree. So my take is, and I'm not by mean any expert here like you are, my view is like, once we establish that Bitcoin is the money, then there is going to be a technology built on top, which is going to compromise somewhat, like you were
Exactly.
saying. That's it.
That's it.
I don't know which one is going to be. There is a lot of discussions in regards of other chains like Cardano maybe coming in and helping DeFi. It's difficult to say, but I'm expecting this to be fixed, yeah, for sure.
All right, well, that's it
Nice.
for today, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Hopefully you learned how to save. Even if it's not from us, you learned it. You went and focused on those things. Hopefully you focused on two things: your health and your finances. Because once you focus on those two things and you get those things right, the rest of your life still be full of problems, but they'll be a lot easier to handle.
I agree. Well said.
Okay.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Cheers.